Good morning, everyone. This is Leanne from Of Love and Shiplap and the founder of Sublimation graphics and tutorials here on Facebook. If you're joining us on YouTube, don't forget to head over and join our Facebook group where you can find live tutorials on everything from product demos to product reviews to growing a business, social media marketing, and so much more. And as always, if you're catching us live on Facebook, don't forget to follow this video so that you can find it after it's live, or head over and subscribe to our YouTube channel where all of our videos are in our neatly organized playlists. Today, I am going to be showing you guys a keepsake box from Sublimation 101. These make a great gift pretty much all year round. So with Valentine's Day coming up, this might be a good gift for him. If you have a partner who is particularly interested in things like watches or cufflinks, anything to that capacity, you might find that this box is a good gift. They come in, I think, 2 different finishes. I got the black one just because that's what I wanted. Sorry. The tile is obviously not adhered because we haven't sublimated it. So I'll give you guys kind of a good look at this. So the box is like a nice velvet lining, and it's even got a little bit of cushion, not much, but it is very nice. I believe it's about 8 inches by 8 inches, and it's probably about 2.5 to 3 inches deep. Ooh, my reflection's on there. So the top part has a nice 6x6 ceramic tile, and this is what we're going to be sublimating. So you sublimate this and then you attach it with E6000 glue. And it actually did come in like a nice gift box even. So I thought that that was a great setup, that if you do, whether you're selling this for your business or if, whether you're selling this for your business or if you're just giving it as a gift, the fact that once it's all together, you can put it back in that nice gift box definitely gives a very professional presentation. Any items that are ceramic and glass are relatively easy to sublimate. They do take just several minutes because of the thickness and whatnot, but I am looking forward to see how this comes out. It's actually going to be a gift for my little brother. He is into photography and has a picture that one picture he took several years ago he really likes, and I decided that would be great to put on this since he had been asking me for some type of a keepsake box for a while. This is going to be a relatively quick tutorial, and because it does take 5 minutes for the ceramic tile to sublimate, I am going to go ahead and turn you guys around and show you what we're working with, and while it is sublimating, we'll talk about pricing and things like that. One of the nice parts about hard substrates is that you don't really need a lot to get them done. So we have our 6x6 tile. This already comes with the memorial box, keepsake box, whatever you want to call it, from Sublimation 101. I have our transfer. I printed this photograph my brother took. I printed this with my Workforce 7710 on printer jack paper using printer jack ink. Both are available on Amazon. We're just going to want some heat tape and of course a glove for when it's done because it's going to be very, very hot. So we will start by just centering our tile. I always try and did this my transfer design space is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. That gives us a nice 1/4 inch leeway all around, which is always beneficial. We're going to go ahead and tape around the edges. And I like to just use my fingernail and kind of rub that into the edge so that we get like a nice secure hold. And we only need a couple of pieces. I usually do like 3 or 4 if I'm doing hard substrates like this. Ooh. Now for the ceramic tile, we're going to be sublimating this just like this. We're going to have the transfer face up, the tile face down. So the first thing I want to do is put a piece of protective paper on my heat press. it didn't rip quite as smoothly as I was hoping. And we're going to carefully transfer this over. We want firm pressure and 400 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my pressure a little bit. Let me move you guys up a little bit too. So you can see better. We're a little too tight. There we go. All right. Now last, I just want to put protective sheet on top as well, so that none of that ink that's around the edge gets on the top of my press and transfers onto a future substrate. Oop. I think we're a little too firm. Just that, just a little bit more. There we go. I forgot to adjust my time, so give me just 1 second. We want 5 minutes, so that's 300 seconds. All right, there we go. Now we're ready to go. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have 400 degrees for 5 minutes. This is a very long time. You'll notice that any of the thicker sublimation substrates do take several minutes. Even though these items conduct heat, ceramic, or absorb heat, I should say. Ceramic and glass both absorb a lot of heat very easily. It does take a minute for it to get that even distribution. If you don't use enough time when you're doing any of these substrates, you might notice that your color doesn't bleed all the way to one edge or the other. So this is my first time doing one of these boxes, and actually my first time doing a ceramic tile, so I'm looking forward to how this comes out. You don't need any special pads or anything like that to do these items. I know that some of the suppliers will tell you need like a special Nomex pad and things like that, but I've always just used the the rubber pad that comes on my heat press, and I've never had an issue. So the main thing is always going to be to make sure that you have the right temperature and that your press is at the right pressure. You, of course, don't want to use such firm pressure that you risk breaking your item. Once this is done, it is going to take several minutes to cool, so I won't really be showing you guys how to adhere it, but you'll see on the box that it's got this groove, and your tile just fits neatly in there. The ceramic tile is going to fit neatly in there, and you want to attach this with E6000 glue. I personally hate E6000 glue. It's very sticky, and it takes forever to dry, but it is what is recommended for the best permanent adherence. And you can buy this at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, any craft store. It's a very high-powered adhesive, and it's not expensive. I actually got a little pack of 4 mini tubes because I don't use this very often, and I find that if I get the big tube, it ends up just gunking itself up because it's just so sticky. So I do recommend the mini tubes if you're just doing items like this every once in a while. And the little mini tubes, about the size of the same kind of tube that super glue comes in. You don't want to use super glue or regular glue or anything like that, because those are eventually going to dry out, and then of course the tile could fall out of your Keepsake box and break, which would be tragic. One of the nice parts about choosing a sublimation ready tile is it doesn't require any extra work. I do see a lot of people wanting to sublimate tiles from Home Depot and things like that. In order to do that, you do have to coat it with something, whether you choose Sublifix or dye press polygloss or even attempt polyacrylic is all up to you. But when it's all said and done, the added time and effort and the cost that you're adding to that one simple item, to me, is not worth it. Sublimation tiles are easily available. While they're not, they're not $1 or $2 like some of the other tiles are, you can press them and be done, and they are good to go. And depending on the market that you're targeting, you can probably get a reasonable amount of money for them. I believe these keepsake boxes are either $10 or $12. I apologize. I did not get a chance to look, but I did provide the link in the video description. You'll find a link to that and to our Facebook group or YouTube channel, depending on where you're catching this. And I'm using my 16 by 20 heat press from acesdeals.net. This is just the generic, it is the generic press and release model, nothing super fancy, but it gets the job done, and I've been really happy with it for the last year, so I highly recommend it. We have about 30 seconds left. We're gonna wanna get our heat glove ready because this is gonna be very hot. Move you guys a little bit closer. So as soon as this is ready, I'm going to very carefully pop the top. And we have just a couple of seconds. So I always like to hold my hand here just so it doesn't pop up and hit my arm, or doesn't make the paper and whatnot jump. We'll pull off that cover sheet. Oh, I forgot to take the Made in China sticker off the back. I probably should have done that. It melted. Anytime I'm doing a substrate for the first time, I always like to double check to make sure I've gotten a good transfer before I fully take off the transfer. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to inspect it from the corner. Oh, it looks great. Perfect. Hot. Just want to show you guys this printer jack paper. Really impressed with it. Great ink release. And let me just get the tape off of here. Uh-oh. We got a piece of tape on the front. Hot. This is very hot. Whew. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I got that heat tape off the front, because you don't want any of your, while this is still hot, you don't want any of your ink to get on that, to migrate onto the tape. So this is very hot, and I need to leave it on the press to cool. It's going to take several minutes for it to cool completely. So let me just give you a nice close-up. So you can see the colors look great. I mean, that water almost looks real. That's kind of cool. Like I said, this is a picture my brother took. He's very proud of it. He recently got into photography. So as I said, the last step will be, once this is completely cooled, which will probably take about 10-15 minutes, once this is completely cooled, we will go ahead and glue this into our keepsake box with some E6000 glue, and then put that in the gift box that it came in. In terms of pricing, I think you can easily sell these for $45 to $50. They are absolutely beautiful. They're well made, the beautiful lining, and then of course the custom tile on top. It gives you a lot of versatility for a high quality product that's going to be great for Valentine's Day, wedding, which is coming up, and then of course we have wedding season and graduation season, and then before you know it, we'll be right back at the Christmas season. I know it's crazy to think about, but in the life of business, you always have to be thinking ahead. Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to leave any questions or comments below, and I will go ahead and answer those. Have a great rest of your day.